things I don't understand. I know, Lord, I know it's in my heart and baby down in my soul. You, baby, you can't take it no more. No, I know I'm walking out that door the way you treated me too many times before. Don't you know you love me, baby, too? Oh, you know I want you there, I wanna be right there with you. I know I gotta keep you by my side till the day I die. 'Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. But now you done and piss me off. You ain't done something you shouldn't have done. And baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on.
Good evening, and welcome back to the Lost Begotten 11Z's only slightly tardiest broadcast. Today's program is brought to you by Internet Trolls. Internet Trolls. You're not the only one who wants to beat them all to death with their own shoes. Internet Trolls. Most people think that they should all die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Internet Trolls. The people that wake up every day and think, damn it, one isn't the loneliest number. The fuck? Some kind of bug just decided it was on the side of the Internet Trolls and bombarded my forehead. That's what they do. They bombard your forehead, metaphorically speaking. So today I noticed perhaps the internet trolls, I don't know, thought I was pretending my mother had died. I looked back in a couple videos ago they had disliked when I was back behind my mother's house. I had just basically collapsed on the fucking ground back there in tears before filming that video. And got 2 thumbs down on it because apparently, I don't know, I guess they didn't believe my mother really died. See the coffin? You know, one time I snapped my fingers and burned a motherfucker alive. Just because he deserved it. That's what I decided. This is the smallest kid in the world playing the world's smallest violin. Just for your 2 thumbs down. I misunderstand what trolls actually think they're accomplishing other than, you know, to point out who's on the side of good, you know, like whoever's got the most trolls or whoever's continually harassed by them or whatever. Probably, you know, they're good people. Conversely, you know, they're also earning their way into hell by just being shitty people. I find it fascinating. So anyways, there is apparently a new glitch on the software here. And kind of spooked with the whole no salary 2 out of 3 weeks, and then now just, you know, blah blah blah. So I haven't put this software on the new laptop yet. Have I even fucking used the new laptop?
Nope, I have.
I haven't used it once. I got it up and I sat it in my lap for a second, and I was like, you know, it's kind of like a new car. I just want to like sit it in the driveway like the old man on the Lost Boys. Like, all right, let's go to town. And then get out of the car. And I picked it up this morning. I took it out of the bag. It was used at the funeral. Not by me. By my sisters. But by my sisters. Are they married? No, they're not married. No.
Christian and Amy?
Yeah, by my sister's boyfriend.
She calls him her partner.
Her partner. Oh, her partner. Yeah, he was gonna handle all that, and then they wound up basically telling him to turn it down so low that we couldn't even freaking hear it. So I go over there and I had to sit on the freaking speaker box to hear the music at my mother's funeral. Anyways, what the fuck was the point to that? Jesus.
Oh, internet trolls.
Something about internet trolls. I don't know. Yeah. What's going on, Maximo and Sean? Did y'all enjoy the video of the tree? That freaking thing there, man.
Right.
I should have some still photos to post up on here. Maybe one day if I can ever use Twitter again. Now I type in a freaking message and like I have like 5 seconds to type it in and send it before like it just disappears. That's Twitter for me now. I can type pretty fast though, so I meant I said something just out of spite the other day. Forgot what it was. Anyway, so as you can see, I have no headlines prepared. Not entirely because I'm out of it, partly because I'm in a panic, but that's related to the fact that I've been doing business planning. And good news, bad news. Good news is I've been struggling with the logic on how to make everything smaller, and I'm kind of getting a little more comfortable with a few ideas. And I've been reading a whole lot of investor side business planning advice, like what investors look for in business plans, that kind of thing. And I got a better look at the property, and seems nice and level. Not nearly as many trees as I thought, but it's the wrong way. It's not quite as dimensionally. It's not 150. It's 125 by 93, and it's 93 wide. So that sucks. So I had to redraw some stuff, or sketch some stuff out, and I wanted to maybe put it up here on MS Paint and play with another floor plan. See if I can't fit a few shelter units back behind there. So my wife didn't feel like sitting in the chair. She wasn't feeling talkative, but you know, here she is.
Fire being supportive.
She's being supportive. Oh, look how supportive she's being. I love my Mark.
I'm allowed to be depressed right now.
She saw her hair and she had to dye it black.
Oh yeah, I guess I should like maybe make appearance of that and stuff.
Due to the possibility of a job hunt slash
Oh my god.
possibility of meeting with former investor type friends or friends of boss, former boss,
I have gone black.
etc., etc., etc.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we ain't trying to waste no time. I mean, thank God we got caught up on fucking bills and got the bankruptcy thing started.
Yeah, I guess I better call them. Tell them I lost my job. That counts the loss of income right there.
Yeah, sure relevant information there.
Fucking bastard.
And shouldn't be too late to follow. Yeah. Wondering what the unemployment statute limit is right here. Anyway. fuck. Just a whole bunch of gully fuck. And that's kind of depressing. I took photos upon photos until I ran out of SD space of the rainbow hair. So I actually have like a bunch of like I made Trina go back here and pretend to be like a professional photographer and be like, show me sad, show me happy, show me angry, show me sassy, like. And like she went back here and really went with it, and we got like a bunch of silly ass like over dramatic modeling photos with the rainbow hair still. So maybe I'll put those up whenever I feel like getting my phone and, you know, uploading all the crap. Maybe I'll put it all on the new laptops. It's got a fresh freaking terabyte hard drive right waiting on it. So anyways. I was supposed to have a topic for the video tonight. I was actually watching Bleach. And for those of you who are familiar with Bleach, the character Stark always kind of reminded me of like a very ancient story. Okay. Stark being Espada number 1. And what's the full name?
Oh, you're asking the actual file.
Like the whole full name. But he's the guy who has first he's got his separated other half, because a long time ago he was so powerful he divided himself in two so that he wouldn't be alone. Yeah, it's a familiar story, you know. And then there's you know, like the form in which she becomes his guns, and they're like these pirate pistols, which is odd, right? And he's got this weird eyepiece. And then she becomes wolves that explode. Kind of an interesting feature of those particular wolves. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's not exactly every day that you find glowing blue flame wolves that blow up when they bite you, and blow you up when they bite you. You know, big badabo. And so Lilith is his divided other half, and she becomes the pistols, and her spirit energy is consumed by the firing of the pistols, okay, which is a part of his spirit energy, which she is a part of his spirit energy. And then when she becomes the wolves, she becomes consumed and winds up disappearing because all the wolves are expended. But when each wolf appears, that is, when Stark plans to attack, the wolves appear behind him, and they make this ding sound, ding, 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 like a cash register ding. like the sound of a purchase. So Stark is purchasing each of those, and they each have that, what used to be, okay, the reason why your cash register makes that sound is because that used to be the sound of the coin hitting the 10 when somebody paid. Okay? So Stark, all his powers, when he purchases them with part of his spirit energy, that's the sound of that purchase. Ding, 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 ding. And then they go and they attack, and, they bite and they blow up. And it's Lilynette is the voice of the wolves. And Stark is still Stark in his human-looking body.
In his starkness.
And in all his starkness, yes. Very, very stark individual. So just earlier today, it dawned on me exactly not just who he is musically, archetypically, but how well it's done. He's the boatman. Hard not to get that weird wave of spiritual pressure if you're familiar with the series. His character, his personality, and then not only the purchase of the wolves, but the pirate guns. Now, what's interesting about the wolves and what ties it to the boatman, even to ancient Egyptian mythology, the wolf, especially the blue wolf or a midnight blue wolf with white stars on it, is the mother, Moot, or Mutt, depending on whether or not you're a dog lover or something. I don't know. Huh? What?
You're a mutt.
Yes, I am a mutt. And Moot basically becomes the starry skies, which in the underworld is also the river of souls. And you have to pay the boatman to cross it. Otherwise, be swept away. Now, let me just say, a lot of people oversimplify this as far as mythos goes. I am currently staring at random pictures in front of an accidental backdrop of Tiger Lily sleep. Oh my god, that's so cute. I have a giant tiger lily sleeping photo
Oh, don't
on my desktop now. No, she's decutified by the tiger lily.
How could you not be? You should like totally screenshot it so everybody.
Back when she stayed still.
Screenshot it so everybody can ignore it.
Okay, everybody ready to say "aw"? Oh wait, that's actually the same screen. That's the one that's on the background right there. There you go. That's why I had that folder open. I was trying to edit that to make it fit in there, and that's why I wound up saving it as a desktop background on accident. But anyway, so giant kitten and all of her fuzzy-bellied cuteness. Don't you just want to just go like that to the belly? Just the belly. Anyways, what was I just saying? Maximo's awing.
Of course he's awing. Not all.
Anyway, put that thing up. Where is it? It's under news. Yeah, there it is. There you go. And now we don't have to live without tiger lilies. Cuteness. We just keep that in the corner down there. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Ah, yes. Boatman stuff. Oversimplifying the mythos. Yes. Okay. Yes, very good. All right.
You get a cookie.
That was a big gulp of coffee that almost got spat out. I get a cookie? Like now? During the video? I don't think I can keep talking while I chew. Sorry. I was being a moron.
Oh, no, yeah, me thinking about fucking cookies.
Cookies. No. So, oversimplifying the boatman mythos. I can de-oversimplify it with a simple question. You're dead. Okay?
I am?
Just hypothetically. Okay, when you meet the boatman, you're dead. All right. No, you're not. You just look dead because you have black hair. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, fuck, do you get a coin? Ding, really? You think you're just gonna go up to the boatman and give him a coin?
It hurt his head. Ding.
No, dearie. You have a quest to complete. You have to earn that coin. You complete a task, and then the coin appears at the end of it. And there's many. I mean, basically, any way you can imagine this happening, it could happen.
Many coins.
And just about every time, there's a test involved on whether or not you wind up getting pissed off that there's only one coin. you could be misled in this test to believe that there are many coins and that you only have to give one to the boatman. Oh boy, are you going to be disappointed. But anyways, that's old school shit. That's, hasn't been that way for a long time. It's not that the river can't be crossed. It's more that there's not been any point in crossing it. Consider that before the rearrangement of star pathways in the new spiritual plane, from the time of Pentecost, it is said that all souls were delivered up from Shu. And as far as I saw, last I was there, that is definitely the case. And that esoteric knowledge is actually one of the reasons I put so much faith in the Bible, is because, like, for one, if I'm not me, how would I know that? Sure, but I know that, okay? Like, you can't take that away from me. I didn't get that from a book, okay? So that book is validated by my memories as much as my memories are validated by it. But in 2011, and I can't say I'm certain on exactly how it happened, but, we've had a few ganders, guesses here and there on this channel. It seemed to me that all souls who did not ascend were basically enslaved, in bondage, literally in chains, in line, in this perpetual state of waiting to be consumed by this Leviathan once it had awakened. And this Leviathan was referred to by the occult community in New Orleans as the Crystal Palace. I believe it's a reference to something in a book, but I'm not exactly sure which book or whatever. But in my astral social experiments back in high school, it did seem to me that this was a very real thing. And like, it was something that I could sense. And it was something that when I asked other people which direction it was in, if they could sense it, they confirmed where I was already sensing it. And bear in mind, like, my old friends in New Orleans were verified psychics. Okay, we were people that constantly toyed around with paranormal, supernatural ability, and verified it for each other on a regular basis, basically. Dog being noisy again. So, kind of forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah. In 2011, I could essentially, at one point, see it like plain as day. When at this, during this night, baby, you remember the night when everything was orbs, like, for lack of a better word? It was the night after our friend, who's now isn't she in the Air Force or the Navy? In the Navy, had left, and it was just after the Hokioku thing. And we were just starting to kind of become close. And hadn't quite remembered who each other were yet. And we were walking around my backyard, and it wasn't sudden, it was gradual. But everything, like, you know how a fractal orb appears? You know, like if this spot right here, like a little outline to it, you know, like, or like up in the clouds where you see like different little round shapes, kind of different. Sometimes it kind of looks like there's orbs. Imagine if everything did that all at once. Everything you saw, ground, fence, building, sky, trees, everything. Orbs within orbs within orbs, all of them outlining themselves for you all at once. Everything suddenly revealing itself to be completely everything, the totality of everything, 100% spiritual. It was a bit fucking mind, you know, like, we were not under hallucinogenic drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, you know, like, it's been quite some time since either of us have done these things. It's what happens when people in New Orleans have kids, for the most part. For the most part.
What's the first?
Like, I can't speak for everyone I've known over the years, but most decent people. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Just say, if you want to stay in my good graces. That shit's for kids, you know. That shit's for bachelors and bachelorettes. Is a bachelorette you know, like a thing?
Yes.
Without
yes.
like being a party?
Yes.
Okay. Then why do they call it the? I get right now. Never mind. I'm good. I have figured it all out. Okay. Sorry. Simple things. Just, you know.
I love you.
Staring at the mysis. Little tiny feeder shrimp. Little tiny feeder shrimp. I'm going to have to do a video on this little tank. Like, if you want to, like, the easiest saltwater tank to start, you don't have to even fucking pay money for a fish. You just go buy some fucking food. Buy some beater shrimp. Mysis shrimp. And they are so entertaining. Like, it's like a whole little community of it's kind of like an ant farm that swims.
But more fun.
You know,
Actually,
like
no,
floating
you're
around.
right. It really is just like the ant farm.
They'll take the little, like, we feed them pellets. Like, they'll each of them will go and grab a little pellet, and like the pellet's like huge, like this big. Just like swimming around with the little pellets. Wee! Like, trying to hang out in the current, you know, so they can munch on the pellets. It's kind of stupid, hard to explain, but when you see it, it's just, I mean, okay, let me put it this way. I had a broadcast ready about a week ago, and I wound up, like, I was going to be on time, and I wound up a couple of minutes late because I spent 5 minutes staring at the fucking mices, okay? So anyway. Fascinating little fucking shrimp. Not anything I would want to be reincarnated as, though, for instance. Alright. So, I'll look at the random Tiger Lily pictures. I don't need that folder open anymore. Ha! Or just look at the one big Tiger Lily picture. Or, my total lack of coverage here. What the fuck is going on? Why is that like that? What the hell? Oh, the mouse pointer has like a little cubby hole where it can be alone. Yes, it has a private area. How about that? Okay, apparently I need to delete and replace some certain things here. Because that's not a complete fucking waste of time. Oh, look at the studio magic. Shit, now that's all messed up. And might as well delete that then. Okay. So I forgot to fucking finish my thing earlier. One of the things that they've managed to add to the list of fuckery. And of course, you know, it gets me all strung out before each broadcast because I have to fix it, and I have to do stupid shit like this because I didn't fix it right. They, so this guy here, alright, it used to stay loaded, and it would stay behind those images. But I pulled it up, and it's just gone. And there's nothing there. And I tried to reload it without deleting it entirely from the list so it would lose its priority or whatever. And didn't fucking work. So I had to. So I have to do what you're looking at me do right now, which is fucking redo all these images. Put them all back, one by one. Line them all up. Oh, and can't forget Kadyrov. What's up, Carlos? How's it going? Where's my stamp? I can't take down. I can't just have the Trump stamp up there and then take it down. It's general fuckery. We have to show our respect. With the one finger salute. Anyway. Alright, so that looks remotely copacetic. How about that? Oh, it's too tall. I wonder if it was too wide. Okay, everything is fine now, even though we have Tiger Lily and a goddess statue instead of a list of headlines, but whatever. We have Carlos, so that's okay. Dingo, go on, man. Lay down. All right. So, all right. So we're back in 2011 at this point where everything revealed itself. Another thing that revealed itself was, and because we were already looking in the direction of the Crystal Palace, which allegedly hovered over Lake Pontchartrain. You can look up Lake Pontchartrain. It's that giant lake above New Orleans. And if anyone's ever had like a weird, ominous feeling about New Orleans, this is why. But what it revealed itself as was an enormous insectoid planet, which is a complicated thing to explain. It's basically a giant bug that goes to sleep and like is a place for a while instead of a thing or a being, a leviathan. Very, very old, terrible shit. And well, so kind of like a very crooked, disorganized Tower of Babylon, the way it curled up to the center. A path with millions upon millions just lined up souls in red chains, red glowing spirit chains. And there's a lot of complicated shit to do with that I'm going through my head, sitting there like, oh man, how to even parse that out to explain it. But the point of bringing it up is what I should get to, is that the impression I was left with was that it had been some time since any soul has been allowed to move on. Or it had been some time. And in 2011, that all changed. Because that system was destroyed. And at that point, from that point on, everyone has either been astral or present. So you're either here in heaven, the heaven that is what you make of it, or in the heaven that your ancestors have already made. See, this is a fateful time in which most people who are here had chosen to be here to begin with, and in which most human souls are incarnated. And it's very much a quickly revolving door right now. But now, like ancient times, reincarnation is based upon very simple standards. Standards of how you treat other people, standards of karma, essentially. And, you know, everyone you encounter your entire life, don't rule it out that they might get a vote in what you experience next, should you fail to grasp your responsibility as a spiritual being. But, you know, there's a lot of people who I wouldn't want to bother other people with remembering them. So their whole fate is decided by a set of predetermined rules, if you will. Now, over time, there have been different traditions. I was going to say subsects or schools of thought or family lines or
Tradition.
zoos. Fuck. But one that started with warrior women in particular. I don't know why I feel overwhelmingly that it started with warrior women in particular. Because she says it's because it always does. Is, God, I'm hesitating right now because I have no forethought. I'm like not awake enough to forethought, but the words just keep coming like without my fucking trying. Like, weird. Let's see if I can lose my train of thought and then have that stop happening altogether. Then maybe I'll be able to forethought my thought.
Yeah.
As long as I don't chop it off.
What?
What? Don't chop off my forethought.
No, we need a forethought.
Yeah. Never mind. It was a vague penis joke, but I couldn't find a way to make it work. So I'll try again after I find some Cialis. What?
Oh, thanks.
So, speaking of Cialis, warrior women. Warrior women. Who would need Cialis if they still had those, you know?
Wow.
Saved myself pretty good on that one, didn't I? Oh. So, oh God, I'm just going to say these words without thinking about this, whether this was what I figured out earlier. But then again, you know, it just kind of dawned on me earlier. So why wouldn't it just get spat out of my face now? I'm tired. So basically, if a woman died in battle, she would be, under this tradition, reincarnated as a wolf. Okay? And the reason why was sort of for stress relief and sort of just to be away from people for a while. But also because the tradition of warrior women actually started, just like most warrior traditions, in slavery. Okay? Much the way these guys like to have their, you know, groups of female bodyguards, like Gaddafi with his all-female bodyguard task force. That kind of thing. But back in the day. So on a much more manpower-based scale. But really, like, if you look at, like, some of those countries today, it's pretty crazy how large the all-female warrior group is. But they're not nearly as enslaved. Well, can't say for the Gaddafi thing and the Korea thing, but like China, not nearly as enslaved as the original warrior women. Okay, and I believe this goes back to Babylon. The name Xerxes comes to mind. So this tradition was began as a means to re-socialize those women. And the understanding of how bad it was for them that concept gives you later became a tradition that reminded them of their past. Okay? Because think of that. Your life was so bad that you wanted to be reincarnated as a wolf so you could relax and be social and be nice to people, or to, you know, a group of friends, a wolf pack. And you can dead spot an ancient spirit by natural affinity towards wolves. You can dead spot somebody who's never been here before or has been exiled and had to earn their way back up to humanity by somebody who has dreams about being a cartoon or being an animal a lot. Like overwhelmingly animal dreams. But then there are many forms of self-exile. That's what a lot of people don't realize, is that you might choose to be, I mean, without fear of death, bear in mind, choose to be a bug that only lives for a matter of a few months. You know, you might choose to be whatever, a freaking hamster, you know. Stay away from Richard Gere's house. I mean, oh God, I had, sorry. It's not even true. That whole thing wasn't even true, but it's fucking funny. It was a gerbil. I mean, not true. It wasn't that whole thing. Not true. So anyways, let's see what other random things pop into my head. I think I'm about done, actually. Oh, look, it's been an hour. That's a pretty decent time to be done. So, let me open it up for questions. And apparently, once again, I'm not doing headlines because I'm fucking tired. Oh, you don't have a choice. When you come back, you come back as that thing. You'd have to be a god to come back and remember as a thing. I mean, you wouldn't even be that thing. You'd just be appearing as that thing. But in order to come back to this plane of existence, you have, you know, the one memory rule. If you're lucky, you get tested for your memories. So you can't hide and conceal and keep any memories coming back in any form. You understand that knowledge on that level is bigger than you. It's bigger than any one life that you'll have, especially. And you don't hold on to the treasures of the world. And knowledge, believe it or not, knowledge is a worldly treasure. So take that for what it's worth. That's why people like my dad, the Pied Piper, have such a problem, you know, actually being Christian as opposed to hypotheticalizing and intellectualizing that they are Christian. He has all the knowledge. All the knowledge. I mean, he could literally sit there and type up a universe in assembly code. You know, like he has all the knowledge. He's a fucking living computer. He talks better to computers than he does to people. Yeah. But that knowledge from one life can keep you from learning a lesson in another. And once you come back to your greater self, you understand that that knowledge is yours again. So don't fear loss of anything. Just trust in God. That's what I do. So anyways, the news wasn't all that interesting today, other than a few gaffes here and there. Of course, they're going over like different just bullshit crap that different people like Sean Spicer said, but there was something that Mattis had said, or he had basically been caught bullshitting about the deployments. That's as disconcerting as it is disappointing, you know. But other than that, there's the THAAD system has become operational in South Korea, officially become operational. The French, I'm just doing this from memory, the French Macron, it's not Marcon, it's Macron. It's macaroni. It's fucking Macron. The Macron campaign has reported Russian hacking. You know what's weird is I don't really trust Macron any more than I trust Le Pen. Like, remember about 2 years ago when I said that I got a bad feeling about France and like the fuckery that's going on, and, like with the Mistral and like just what's going on in their government and how there's like left and right kind of slowly taking over, and the old respectful real French people just slowly going, losing influence. Huh. Graves. Why are graves only from about 1850 approximately? Did they burn everybody before? Did they ascend? Is the old world buried? I'm overwhelmingly compelled to give you an answer that I really want to be true. Because if it's true, it means that one of my biggest wishes for like what I can accomplish in this lifetime is possible. And that's that before that period. And that's that period in which I sensed that mankind had kind of lost its way and declared war on Mother Nature as a whole. It pissed me off, bear in mind. Really, really pissed me off. Like, enraged me. Like, kind of want to come back and smite you all. No offense. Sitting on a tree for a while gets you a little grumpy. But what if, barring murder, disease, famine, what if death wasn't really that prolific? What if death didn't come quite as early as we thought? What if the human lifespan was much longer than we thought? Could be a big reason for a whole lot of scorch and burn cover-ups to take place. What kind of a world panic would occur? How many giant wars would break out? Kind of like what happened, isn't it? Humanity feeling like God forsook him. Well, perhaps humanity forsook God first.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know, it's not just hard to find graves from before then. And you took a picture of one just recently, didn't you?
1827.
1827. Grave from 1827.
Yeah, I saw it in your families.
Out there, you know, by that big tree. I gotta yawn and stretch out. So, gotta end this broadcasting is what I gotta do. Very few people you can find buried before that, like consistent graves. You know, not like, oh, this royal dynasty's grave or anything like that. You know, like. But what's also interesting is that the same time period, you know, despite the fact that, you know, there's been writing and records and, you know, civilization for quite some time now, it's very hard to trace most people's family history back definitively past about the 1800s. So we can use microcosmic data to infer the human lifespan was this and that and blah, blah, blah. But considering all of the wandering prophets that went through this country and elsewhere, considering just everything that went on during that period, as far as trying to reshape the understanding of history, and then the wars that broke out, consider that reshaping of history was left to the survivors of many great holocausts, so that those who would remember otherwise may all be gone. told things like the human lifespan, the Bible says, blah, blah, blah. And we're told, you know, this and that since about that time period. That's, you know, when all these dogmatic Western Baptist type things got defined. And then the Catholic Church after that point, you know, smashed and then slowly pulls its way back out by the charitable graces of other nations. Glasses, writing presented as good things. What if they were needed because of losing higher abilities? Ah, very interesting. Like the ability to heal, for instance. See, if I'm in a room with 5 people and 3 of them don't believe I can heal the 4th person, it's up to that 5th person to believe enough for me to be able to heal them. But chances are, if that 5th person isn't there and it's just the one person, I'm not going to be able to heal. So consider that when determining the human rules of healing and the human rules of, you know, degradation. Like, once we had lost communities of true Christians, individual sages wouldn't have been enough. So yeah, you'd have had medical needs arise, like you're talking about. Very good point. Oh yes, Kira's over here playing with her phone, possibly reading business planning stuff. So anyways, any more interesting thoughts? You apparently have had more coffee than I have. As far as writing goes, okay, like the glasses, I think you got a point with the glasses. And medicines and prosthetics and, you know, things like that. But writing's always been sort of an enjoyable art form. It's never been something considered unnecessary, because you wouldn't have, you know, like, you're thinking in terms of like downloadable knowledge, okay? It's just no fun to learn that way. Everybody should have a different walk each time they come through. You know, everybody should have a different experience, a different knowledge set to work with and compare themselves to and compare their intuition to. Sometimes they get a good book, sometimes they get a bad book, you know? Men cutting long hair, you know, that's always existed. You know, like some men have always had some men have had long hair, some men have short hair, usually depending on age, usually depending on their job. Um, Long hair used to be considered a luxurious thing. You know, a long haired man was considered to be wealthy, or, you know, dominant or of prowess. Well, as far as like why they got addicted to the story that they got addicted to, it seems like it initially would have been allowed as a means to stop people from panicking. Because you could imagine the older generation who were wondering why suddenly they were all starting to die, some of them hundreds of years old, some of them 1,000 years old, maybe, some of them maybe more than that, up to 2,000 years old. Time of Christ, you will all live forever. Okay. It's possible that these people, likely that these people, would have been in a complete panic, trying to figure it out. They might have went paranoid, might have started resistance movements. Some individual kingdoms might have declared war on each other out of fear, out of paranoia, out of mistrust. Who's poisoning everyone? Where's this plague coming from? Why has God forsaken us? You know how they do. So now mankind's come to a point where reincarnation is back. But in a whole new way. Because reality itself is now limitless. And you can be, oh, virtually blinked out of existence, as if you were never here. And you could be banished to a realm in which you are surrounded by nothing but things that annoy you, etc., etc. But you know, such things are reserved for Mostly internet trolls and Trump campaign members. So, on that bombshell, it's time to end. Hope y'all enjoyed. I do want to do a little more notative type thought on the different traditions I can remember, or maybe even decipher about different animal totems that represent ancient stories of groups of people who banded together and how they would be reincarnated. Okay? Just out of kinship, out of brotherhood, out of a lot of different reasons, actually. So, thank y'all for joining us, and thanks to all the viewers who have contributed. Please do keep it up, because we're counting on y'all. You can like us on Facebook at The Lost Begotten. Follow us on Twitter at The Lost Begotten. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, and go ahead and click the like button on this video for me if you don't mind. I'm going to get some rest. And tomorrow, I'm going to share some photos. And we're going to go through all the news, the headlines and stuff tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, for sure. Thanks again, y'all. Have a good one. Thanks for your comments and questions and whatnot. Good night.